When Jerry Jones announced that the Dallas Cowboys would be retaining the services of head coach Mike McCarthy for 2024, well, those within the NFL landscape were a bit puzzled to say the least.
And if you're Jerry Jones, I just don't understand why you don't have more urgency about changing the status quo for your team.
At least Mike McCarthy was finally gone. Sorry, Cowboy Nation. It's April Fools in January when we've been made to look like fools.
Yeah, I know. Skip Bayless is also the guy who probably freaks out about a pizza not being delivery and actually being DiGiorno.
It's not delivery. It's DiGiorno.
But the point here is still the same. Everyone thought this was a ridiculous and undefendable move from Jerry Jones. Yet, if you look at it and you think about it, the Cowboys owner knew exactly what he was doing here. Dallas is now positioned to be the most talked about football team for all of the upcoming season, from the Senior Bowl up until this time in 2025, when the Cowboys have most likely been bounced from the playoffs. By then, they are also probably going to be searching for a new head coach, probably using a ridiculous list of candidates, including everything from a robot Tom Landry to the ghost of Casey Kasem. A lame duck coach with a roster that is perceived to underachieve. The excruciating minutia of every last detail, every last thing the Cowboys do in 2024 will be broken down and overanalyzed, perhaps to levels not seen since Brett Farve's retirement tours. We will eventually just get stuff like this. Breaking news from the Dallas Cowboys. We have learned Jerry Jones has replaced the mayonnaise used on chicken salad sandwiches at the Star. Does this mean CeeDee Lamb is going to get traded? I think yes. Gross. Also, not outside the realm of possibility. Just look at how much coverage the Cowboys have received since getting bounced from the playoffs by the Packers. This wall-to-wall coverage of all things Dallas and the subsequent record ratings that it has received are bad news for the world, at least if you follow the NFL. There is no doubt that Jerry Jones has seen the ratings and seen all his coverage and seen all the talk about his team and said, I'll have more of that, please. You see, Jerry Jones does not care about winning football games or Super Bowls or anything that he claims. Sure, doing that is nice, but it is not the end-all be-all for him. If it was, then he would have hired capable football people and put them in position to be successful. No, Jerry Jones is far more interested in attention, however it may come to him. That means Jerry Jones is getting exactly what he wants with his franchise in 2024. Look, there were really only two ways for NFL owners to gain notoriety and attention. They can either win successfully for many, many years, or they can be infamous characters. Early on, and Jones was mostly, not entirely, but mostly focused on the former. Of course, that early success and attention went to his head and he started behaving like your neighbor who does a local TV interview and then starts big-leaguing everyone else. There are many ways you can look at Jones's feud with Jimmy Johnson, but it's impossible to ignore the attention and plaudits the man with the perfectly coiffed hair was receiving. Jones wanted that spotlight. Jones wanted all of that attention Johnson was receiving. And in order to get it, he started usurping power away from his head coach in order to say he was just as much a part of the team's success as Johnson. As the 1990s ticked on over to the 2000s, Jones realized that it was far easier being infamous than successful and really started to lean into that. He could make erratic moves and everyone would focus on him nonetheless. Throwing huge amounts of cash at quarterback Chad Hutchinson despite the fact he hadn't played football in years? Screw it. Bringing in Terrell Owens? That'll get people paying attention to me. Appearing in episodes of Entourage in the league while Jason Garrett can't stop rotting mediocrity? Hey, whatever it takes to keep that spotlight shining, baby. Nothing about what Jerry Jones has done since taking over the Dallas Cowboys has been about what's best for the team to win. It was always, how can Jones stay relevant? What can be done to ensure everyone is paying attention to Jones? If that includes winning, great. And you know what? If the team loses, so be it, as long as Jones is still getting that attention, as long as people are still focused on what he's doing. It is what he craves. It is what Jerry Jones lives for, and it's what he has lived for decades now. Sure, he'll try to hide it, or he'll try to make excuses for what he's doing as if it isn't a means for him to get attention, but we all know the score here. Like, Jones is just wanting to hog the spotlight, and every move he makes is for him to get the spotlight. Others just happen to be around it, but he would gladly kick them off stage if possible. This brings us back to 2024. Jerry Jones is getting exactly what he wants with the Dallas Cowboys this year by bringing back Mike McCarthy. That is attention. That is the spotlight. That is being the focus of the NFL universe. No matter what happens on the field, no matter what happens during the offseason, no matter what happens with the NFL between now and the end of next season, everyone's going to be focused on the Cowboys and everyone's going to be talking about Jerry Jones. That is the real Super Bowl for him. That is what he thinks is being a success. That is what he wants to win. Sure, I'm no better than anyone else by feeding the beast here. Yeah, I can totally admit that. But man, wouldn't it be really, really awesome, just really amazing if we couldn't spend the next 12 or so months giving Jerry Jones the attention he so desperately seeks? The NFL landscape ignoring this Cowboys nonsense and focusing on something other than an attention gigolo who happens to own a fairly irrelevant football team would be amazing. Instead, the lion's share of attention and headlines and talk about the NFL will ultimately end up on Jerry Jones, and he will love it. So it goes. Thank you for watching this video. If you'd like to know a little bit more about Jimmy Johnson's last game as an NFL head coach, which also happened to be the last game in Kingdom history, well, check out the video in the upper right-hand corner of your screen. That does it for me today. I am Cheyenne Hollis. This is the Touchback, and as always, hashtag take it out to the 25.